want to dive into some goodness with you lovelies and share some of the things I think influence this beautiful suit. So this is our mask. This to me is a literal, to me, one-to-one of Alex Ross. So we've got the stunning mask, which to me looks literally just like a piece of Alex Ross art. And of course, it's not popping up here. Let me do a little side by side for you lovelies. I don't have OBS. I don't know how to work any of that stuff. So you guys are getting bare bone technology, and we're gonna kick it old school, because to me this is too insane and too exciting not to share. So to me, the three big influences on the suit are Alex Ross is probably second only to John Romita Sr. To me, this is a straight up John Romita Sr. suit. So John Romita Sr. is one of the most iconic artists on Spider-Man. He took over pretty early into the run. Steve Ditko was the man who first drew Spider-Man ever, but we had like Ross Andrew into John Romita Sr., and they made him a little bit more approachable, a little bit more handsome, a little bit more of the guy that's, you know, out around college and vibing. And the Ditko era was very intentionally like angles and weird and intense. John Romita Sr. and Ross Andrew, who needs his flowers, gave him a little bit more of that approachability. And to me, this looks just like the Romita Sr. suit. And it also has shades of Alex Ross, especially in the color choices and some of the framing use of what I've seen so far. But if you look at this, it's pretty insane. Like, we got Alex Ross influence for days, for sure. And we also have Romita Sr. influence for days, for sure, which is, by the way, the thumbnail of this exact video is, this is like Romita Sr. for days right here. I also would say it is a little bit of Marco Checchetto, who is the current artist on Ultimate Spider-Man. He's drawing Spider-Man right now. And to me, a little bit of the eyes is Checchetto. There's a little bit of that aggressive energy. There's a little bit of the strong angling in the eye work that feels a little Checchetto to me. But overall, it's Romita Sr. and definitely Alex Ross in the eyes there as well. I really think this suit is damn near perfect. I love that it's got a little give. If you look at the Marco Checchetto art, it actually has wrinkles. It actually has some give. Like, it actually looks like cloth. It looks like, you know, clothing. So I personally hope they let the suit look like a suit and not cover it in CGI. You cast someone like Tom Holland, you let it be the guy that can actually do flips and actually move like an incredible dancer, an incredible stuntman. Like, Tom Holland can be Spider-Man just in a suit. Don't CGI him, I hope. So obviously you got to smooth some things out. You got to get rid of some wires. You got to do some of that. But I want the suit to hopefully be this right here. So like I said, I believe this is Romita Sr., the most influenced, Alex Ross right there next to it, as well as Marco Checchetto. If you're not reading Ultimate Spider-Man, you absolutely should be. But if you look at pictures of the suit, like even just him standing, it's insane how much this feels like old John Romita Sr. art come to life. Like, we literally get to see what it is to see a comic book come to life, which is absolutely staggering. I love it so very much. I'm a very, very happy nerd. And then if you look at stuff like Alex Ross's painting style, you see even more of it come to life. Like, this is straight up colored like an Alex Ross painting. Like, that is natural light. This is just the sun shining on him. And this feels like Alex Ross to me, which is just absolutely lovely. So this made me very happy this week. I do think we're going to get some interesting conversation as well. So those are the comic influences. I think we're going to get some interesting conversation as well about the movie influences. I think, especially with the raised webbing and this back spider, I believe this is a direct influence of him having met the other Spider-Man. I believe this is raised webbing because of Tobey's suit. And I believe this is very strongly influenced by Andrew Garfield's suit, especially this back spider. Like, this is the Amazing Spider-Man 2 spider. This is a very close approximation. Obviously different. Like, all the spiders have been different in different movies. Even the Spider-Man suit from Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3 were different logos. But to me, it feels like he looked at his two, Uncle Ben stand-ins, his two brothers, his fellow Spider-Man. They took all of that, like the power and responsibility moment, the brothership between them, those moments of bonding, and he made a suit that mirrored both of their suits into one very comic book suit. I think it's a fantastic narrative choice. I think it's a fantastic choice to have this mirror the last film and the evolution of Spider-Man. Most of all, I personally love No Way Home still. I know a lot of people have turned on that movie for whatever reason, which is silly and exhausting. But I love that we got a trilogy in the 3 movies that were just Spider-Man. We had obviously appearances of Spider-Man in Civil War, in Infinity War, and an Endgame, but those 6 movies, and especially those 3 movies, felt like they landed us at a true Spider-Man origin. So I love that he's getting his true suit. He's getting his full-on comic accurate Spider-Man suit as we finally get a ground level, street level Spider-Man that's going to be Spider-Man. Like we are now at Spider-Man. At first, it was driving me crazy with Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home not having Uncle Ben. At first, it was really struggling with the fact that, he went from that beautiful John Hughes tone first film right to Europe, then right to space. It never got to be, friendly neighborhood. It never felt like, other than like the first half of Homecoming, the small town bodega, literal, a kid that knows the streets of New York, didn't feel that. I think it's worth it to have that trilogy lead to this movie being our first, with today's technology, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man film. And that's what's interesting about the title Brand New Day. I have a full-on video just about what I think Brand New Day is going to be. I filmed it April 1st. It is now months old. I filmed it the day of CinemaCon. Literally an hour after the CinemaCon panel, I broke down my thoughts on what Brand New Day was going to be, how it ties into the MCU, all theories, all predictions. It was literally within an hour of the title being announced. No rumors had started, no casting, anything, just literally what I thought that title meant. And I stand by all of it. I think Brand New Day is the perfect thing to make a reboot within universe for the character. Because in Brand New Day, it was a way to bring back the Silver Age sensibilities. It was a way to bring in a lot of, the dating and the broke Peter Parker navigating a world without all of his friends. Like, I think this is a really cool opportunity to do the same in a movie. So I love the title. I love what this looks to be. I love all of those elements, which brings us to the villains, you lovelies. This week has so many rumors coming out, and I just want to say that is amazing. I want tons of fake leads. I want lots of leaks. I want but like fake leaks. I want there to be so much fake news that the people that run scoops and rumors don't know what's real, and then we don't actually know too much about the movie until we get to see the movie. I think Scorpion is actually in it. I think Punisher is in it. He just wrapped his own thing. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. I think we will get a bevy of villains, because that is one, it's very Brand New Day. 2, if you're looking at the narrative of movies, you do need to kind of have a escalation. And what do you do after an interdimensional multiverse movie? You need a lot of villains in order to keep it feeling like, things are expanding, and the sequel problem in movies is real. But the beautiful thing about that is you can have a bevy of villains be taken out and then turn into a main villain. You can have it open with a villain like Amazing Spider-Man 2, for all of its faults. I love it had a opening villain, closing villain, adventure in the middle. You can do things that feel like a comic book, especially after Superman and Fantastic Four, especially as society at large has accepted the language of comic books. We understand this world a little bit more. And day-to-day audiences can just dive in without it having to be spoon-fed. We don't need to see the radioactive spider bite. We don't need to see, Superman come to Earth, or the Fantastic Four get cosmic rays, or the pearls in Batman. So I think, especially in this 4th film, being an origin, not technically an origin, being a starting point, a Brand New Day, I hope we get a ton of villains, as long as they're not trying to make all of them as important as each other. You can have an opening villain that is a street level henchman, that is someone we recognize. You can have a cadre of gang war. Like, some of the best Spider-Man comics are him fighting street level thugs, but there are a lot of them because he's Spider-Man. He can handle a lot of street level people. And then I'd love to see Scorpion as a big bad. I'd love to see the potential Mr. Terrific as a big bad. I'd love to see Kingpin pulling behind the scenes. I'd love to see a reason why Punisher gets manipulated and Hulk goes back to full Hulk, which I do think is Mr. Negative. But I also think those Mr. Negative things around set might be a mislead, which I would love. I also think there's the potential of not having any of that and only having Scorpion. There's a lot of really cool opportunity here, because I hope they're putting out fake leads and letting this be a surprise and letting us actually enjoy this movie. So I love the title. I love the suit. I love that Michael Mando is out there teasing stuff of him being Scorpion. I think we're getting a comic accurate Scorpion suit. I think we're going full your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man show, and we're going to get actual. I don't have a photo. I thought I had a photo of Michael Mando's. Oh no, I do. I love that Michael Mando's out here sharing, Sting and the Scorpion's back, and he's excited and sharing. The smallest way to do an announcement is so effective because it doesn't reveal too much. So when we see him in the Scorpion suit, it's going to feel big and exciting. When we get the confirmations of other villains, it's going to be big and exciting. But on the journey there, the internet is such that it needs to be constantly fed. Every bit of news is dead the minute it's out there. You have to chase all this stuff. So leak a ton of fake stuff. That way we can actually enjoy the movie and not know everything that's going on. That said, even today, like these photos came out the 2nd and 3rd. Today's the 5th. I was so afraid no one would want to watch a video about the Spider-Man suit because they'd be like, oh, it's already been out for 2 days. That's scary. I want to ride this wave for a year. I want to enjoy every little bit we get. Unofficial is going to be acknowledged as such. Official is going to be acknowledged as such. I really want to enjoy this year of Spider-Man hype. So those are my thoughts on Spider-Man brand new day so far. I'm going to check on these super chats real quick. Not real quick. I'm going to take my time with each of these super chats, but then I'm going to talk about Spider-Punk real quick because we have a little bit of Spider-Punk news. And today's a big show. We got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. So 200 of you lovelies in here. It makes me very, very happy. Also, before we move on to super chats, I want to give some love to the incredible Destin Daniel Cretton, who is an absolute genius of choreography, who made Shang-Chi visually sing. He is doing practical web swinging. We got to see some stuff swinging around Galway. Not Galway, that's in Ireland. We got to see some stuff swinging around Scotland. I think they're filming in Glastonbury. Anyway, they're filming in Scotland. And I love that he's doing practical web swinging. You got a talent like Tom to be like this perfectly physical Spider-Man. You've got these incredible stunt workers that are so good at physicality. I love that giant rig swinging through New York. We got New York being Scotland as a stand-in, but swinging through New York and having explosions and having a web-swinging Spider-Man. I've missed web-swinging. I love the John Watts movies, but I do miss certain elements of the Mark Webb movies and certain elements of the Sam Raimi movies. I'm excited to see what Destin Daniel Cretton does with his take, but I know it has web-swinging, so I'm already very excited.